because I'm going to transition to another game that we like.
Yep.
Numbers changed a little bit. But I was just talking to our boss, Chris, about this because it is his game. The Green Bay Packers getting 3.5 in San Francisco. This is a game we liked 2 years ago almost, and the Niners blew out the Packers in large part because the Packers, and I'll say it again, are soft as hell on defense, but also now on offense. The Niners, for all of their deficiencies personnel-wise, are not a soft team.
No.
When you're looking at the NFC North, the Packers are now minus 225. They closed at minus 160 to win that division. That seems to me moving in the opposite direction of how things sort of are happening, right? We have the Packers at 61% to win the division. We have the Chicago Bears at 16%. We have the Minnesota Vikings at 19%. And for some reason, we have Detroit still hanging on at 4%. When you look at DraftKings, with now that we know that Justin Fields is starting and you know, for all intents and purposes, he's going to be the starter for a long time. Do you not want to take another gander at the Chicago Bears to win this division?
I do. I just am concerned that they don't. I'm worried about the infrastructure that they're going to give to Justin Fields. I want to see what that's going to look like. I want to see what Nagy's game plan is going to be. You know, this is now a little bit on Nagy too. You bring Justin Fields in the middle of a game. You have no game plan for him.
Yep.
He doesn't look very good. But he offers so much and was able to demonstrate that even though the game plan did not support him as well.
Yeah.
But so when I look at this, and I want to get back to the Packers-Niners because we like Packers plus 4. It's now 3.5, so you're still getting on that side of 3. Total of 49.5. So much of why the Packers got destroyed by the Niners a couple years ago was that defense was remarkable in how strong it was. There was not a weak link on that defense. And I don't think that's the case anymore. So are we supposed to learn the lesson of, hey, don't, understand when there was an anomaly from a defensive perspective, or this is just a terrible matchup and the Packers are just going to get rolled by Jimmy G again.
Rolled by Jimmy G again, maybe not, but it wasn't really the defense that gave the Packers fits in either game.
True.
Like
they
Packers
just ran over them.
The Packers did only score 8 points in the one game, but that was also, like, if I remember correctly, right? Wasn't San Francisco in 2019? Their defense was amazing in the first half of the season, but then it had the injuries, right? And in the second half of the year, they were very much so. In the second half of the year, this was what the 49ers gave up opposition-wise. 25, 27, 26, 8, 20, 46, 29, 31, 21. That 8 was Green Bay. And I think it was mostly because this is the kind of game for Green Bay where if you don't, because I remember in that game specifically, Devontae Adams caught a pass and shoved a guy out of bounds after, got called for 15-yard penalty, Packers at the punt, and it was over. Because the Niners in that particular game on offense rushed for it wasn't even that much, 112 in the first game, but then obviously in the NFC title game was 285. I wonder if this is just such a mismatch from a scheme perspective on offense versus defense. Joe Barry had to already ask Matt LaFleur how to run his defense against Detroit. I mean, for God's sakes, does that pause? Because I think from a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end perspective, the Packers are better. Offensive line, no. Defense side ball, no. But is that enough to keep this game close? Because it wasn't those two times.
I know, and I've got to say, watching Detroit basically run all over Green Bay in that first half, I'm definitely scared. By the way, there's an earthquake going on above us.
So good.
I can't bring myself to consider Packers plus 3.5 for the lock of the week. I'm happy that I bet it at 4. It wasn't my biggest bet. I am definitely nervous about the Packers, and Kyle Shanahan's in his film room right now, just cackling, just watching the Packers defense try and defend Jared Goff. So let's move on to.
But in the NFC North, so
Oh,
I just looked at our numbers. Our simulation gives the Chicago Bears 16% chance to win, as I said. On DraftKings, you are getting plus 550, which is implied about 15% chance to win. So you are getting a small edge there. If you can find a number better than plus 550, I would bet it. I do think the tail risk there, because if Green Bay falls off the cliff, right? Detroit's not winning this division. And while I joke that Minnesota is the best 0-2 team in football, the Vikings got 2 great games from Kirk Cousins, and they lost to the worst team in the NFC West and the worst team in the AFC North. If Cousins plays like his normal game, they're not winning some of these games, right? And so if Chicago can get to 10 wins, like, you're holding a good ticket, man.
I'm with you. I think that might be my second divisional bet of the day. I'm on a roll.